Hello, this is an S&P 500 technical analysis. We are on the 29th of September 2025. This is Itai Levitin at investingLive.com, and it's a good opportunity to start with the wider view of the market, at least the way that I and some others see it. Uh, this is the weekly time frame. We have three touch points here, here, and here. Here is not one, by the way. There's a lot of ways that different algos draw channels and trend lines. There's more than one. So it's quite natural that you might be seeing others as well because there are others as well. Um, and many times you will have something similar to this where different algos and scripts will draw something close enough to this. They might, for example, have the touch point a little bit differently. They might be looking at a different time frame, and so it can vary a bit. Here we also have an important high from January 2022, and one of the reasons it's important is that it held for a long time, okay, until it was tested again on December 23, okay? And then, not by coincidence, when we had that big dip after the tariff panic in April, then it found the dip right there. If you look at the low of that, it is 4,832, and here the high is 4,808. Okay, so very, very close to each other. Um, okay, now what do we have? We have, let's take these out a bit. Okay. By the way, the fact that we have this high that was an all-time high for a long time and then tested, it's it highlights that this is an important pivot point, and so is this. So it has to be part of our channel as well. Okay, that's part of the cornerstones of the story. The chart needs to connect to a story and not just be another one of those random drawings on the side, because I can have various channels, right? I can have it also here, trend line, and so forth. So now let's zoom in over here. Okay. Okay, so I've zoomed in. I'm looking at the 4 hours, and then what's interesting here, we have here a contract rollover date. Okay, and it created a gap. It means that the next day, as the S&P 500 E-mini futures rolled over to the next contract from, if you want to know exactly, from the September to the December contract, then we have a bit of a gap here, okay? As you can see here, okay, between this high and this low. And then we see here there was a dip that pierced it. And here recently on Thursday of last week, it came exactly also to test it or just a tiny bit above. But this is considered a pretty much almost perfect test. Okay. Now, it is reasonable that we will again, that price will find its way to test that upper band of that bigger channel. And those that went on a short, okay, this closing of the gap should be at least an event or a spot where they cover a big amount of their shorts, okay, because others are going to do so. Algos are going to say this gap is filled. I'm closing my short, which means buying pressure. Okay. So now it is reasonable also. It could be that later this sort of area would be a distribution pattern. Okay. For example, an ascending wedge. Okay. It could be something like this and then going down. It could also be a consolidation before breaking out up. We still don't know. We still don't have a major bearish reversal, although it may be an early sign of one because of this leg, but it's not sufficient enough. Okay? There is no major bearish reversal yet. And for the short term, as we are 0.38% up from Friday's close, it is very reasonable that we will even create a new all-time high above this one right here. Okay, as you can see here, the 52-week, it says 6756.75, and I'm on zero point 0.5 because they're probably the other one is close to it. In any case, we are probably going to test that again after closing that gap. Stay tuned and trade the S&P 500 E-mini futures at your own risk. Thank you.